Welcome back to John's Shed, and we're going to have a little look at what's been happening on the railway since last I shared some pictures. So let's start with the Scenic board and have a look at how that's coming on. Basically this is nearly complete. There's some tidying up needed, but as you look closely there are various little details like around this tunnel mouth where a little bit of touching up of paintwork is needed. The ballast is a little bit clean, needs to be dirtied up. There are various little chips and things on the various paintwork, some items around the bridge piers that could be improved. A few more people around the pub, obviously a few around the back having a drink, but no vehicles in the car park. I need to sort that out. If we look around the main bridge, a few areas where perhaps a little bit of a touch up with colour, and we find that things have moved in the heat and the damp, and some gaps have opened up and need to have a look at how to deal with those. So broadly the Scenic board is okay, reasonably happy with it. As I say, a few things need finishing off. Turning around towards the middle station, been doing quite a bit of work. We have the campsite in the corner, which was subject of another video, and around the sidings put some coal staves in, some heaps of ballast, a container, and generally sort of finished off the vegetation. Still some work to do in this area to make it a bit more realistic. Moving on from the freight sidings, we have the signal box with rough ground around it. The ground's looking rather sterile. We need a few weeds and things to help give it some character before we come around to the middle station where the footbridge is in place, and as is the cattle dock with a few cows waiting to be transshipped. Generally the platform here looks rather bare. We need some signage, lights, seats and some people on the platform, so there's some work to do there. And as you'll notice at the front, the scenery is incomplete, so that is a task next to be done, to decide what to do along the front here down towards the head shunt where we have a line of hoppers. These hoppers are causing me a little bit of grief because they have rigid NEM pockets where the couplings plug in, which means that when they go around corners they have a habit of derailing. I'm going to have to look and see whether putting some more weight in them will cure that, or another type of coupling pocket. So that takes us round past the end of the middle station to the Windmill. Windmill's been there for a little while, that's a subject of another video, and that's looking okay, although we can see various little areas where things have moved, some little cracks between the tunnel mouth and the rock face that needs to be sorted. And generally, again, still the track is a little bit clean, lack of fences and bushes and other things to make this area look a little bit more realistic. Now as we move on towards the main station, we have the turntable pit, which been doing a bit of work on trying to weather that to make it look more used. Still not totally happy with the outcome. Towards the other side we've got the children's play area, which needs to be sorted out, and some fencing that needs to be sorted and finished off to fence off the houses at the back. Down the far side of the station we have the trees and walls and things, and again we have platforms which are looking a little bit sterile. Might look at a possibility of a canopy for part of them, lighting, platform furniture, etc. Towards the throat of the station we have the car park, and next to it we have an embryonic scrap area. Things are looking a little bit clean in that at the moment, so we need to do a bit of work on dirtying that up. The container has been assembled and painted, it's had a little bit of wash, but it could probably take a little bit more. And then we have another area around the goods yard which hasn't been finished yet. Need to think about what features going to put at the far end of the goods yard and how to finish off all the track work and the scenery above the loops from underneath, which are reasonably well finished. Signal box, P-way hut, etc. all in place. So that area just needs tidying up, a little bit of cleaning. One of the problems is that the insulation board in the ceiling has a habit of shedding small pieces of polystyrene, so that needs tidying up.